What's up guys, Kennan here with the 2001 E39 525, and today I want to discuss with you some information from converting a halogen based car to a xenon based car. So sort of the first myth to expel would be that you need to have special connectors and you need special adapters to plug into the ballasts. Well, as you can see, no you don't. There are a couple websites that may display kits that look sort of like this that they say you need to have in order to adapt your car to fit xenon headlights. Not the case. From my experience with this, it was plug and play. That's all it was. I did no extra wiring, nothing like that. This is where I was talking about it. If you have a pre-facelift E39, you're going to want to consult Ryan's video on how to do all the wiring and splice the wire from the signal bulb in order to adapt the halos. But if your car is facelifted, it was seriously just plug and play. That is all that it was. Now that said, there is an error code that is thrown by just plugging and playing. There are people online who say that you need hella resistor packs. That are ludicrously expensive. I think I got a quote for $150 something. I think it was like $158 to have those for the car. You don't really need them. From the research Bobby and I did in conjunction, it turns out that there is a way to code the car so that it will adapt for xenon lights, not self-leveling. You have to uncheck, if you're familiar with BMW coding, you have to uncheck the self-leveling box, but if you just check xenons, and there should be two separate boxes according to the research we found, then you can just simply code those off and there should be no more errors. I'll show you in just a second what the error looks like, but wiring wise, there was nothing special that needed to be done. Okay, so now we're inside the car, so I just take the key, put it in, turn it on, ding ding. I'll go ahead and start it just for giggles. So you turn the car on, and first time I did this, I got that warning, the typical low OBC check high beam, or low beam warning. So right now I can't code the car, and I'm not comfortable doing that myself, as I feel probably most of you are not. Luckily Bobby is very comfortable with that, so he's going to take care of that for me when he's here in June. But you can take it to an independent specialist, you could take it to BMW, and they can code it all for you. That is something, we searched the forums and we found information that people have done that. Now it is true, you could buy the resistor packs and that will cancel that out. It kind of costs about the same, honestly, to do it either way. I didn't want to have an extra bit of hardware up there that I didn't need to have, so I am just going to have those coded, that error coded out, or I guess the system adjusted to accept xenons. Right now it's just a small annoyance having those on. However, when I turn on the headlights, they will disappear. When the headlights are on, there's resistance being provided specifically by the, oh, sorry about the lens glare. There's resistance being provided by the ballasts for the headlights, and then when I turn them off, there's no error. In about 10 to 15 minutes, that error will come back on again, or when you turn the car off, it'll come back on when it rescans. But that's that. You can also have that coded out, although I don't know that you would want to, because you probably want to know when your headlight is actually out. So you can take it to an independent specialist and do that. If you're comfortable with doing it yourself, and I strongly urge you, you must be very comfortable with doing it yourself. Messing around with electronics on any car, specifically software, can be kind of dangerous if you don't know what you're doing, but you can code that out. There are a couple different softwares I've seen that you can use to do it, but you can code it out. And like I said, if you're not comfortable with it, just take it to a dealership. There's no or an independent specialist. There's no shame in doing that. I certainly wouldn't want to brick my car. Okay, so I want to talk about European cars for just a second. I don't really believe that you need the resistor pack. Some places say that you do, but I think that just like the US spec cars, it's a coding thing. I think that you just need to have have it coded so that the computer recognizes there's a different voltage, or recognizes that there's some resistance from the different headlights that are on there, because Xenons are different and they have different power needs. So I think that's all that it is. It really seems to be a much more simple thing than I thought it was. I thought there was going to be a lot of wiring I was going to have to do for stuff, and I was going to have to buy those resistor packs and whatever. It really doesn't seem that way. Now, they exist for a reason. I guess if you just want a plug and play solution, that would be the way to go. Pre-facelift cars, I don't know if you want to add more hardware up there, especially with the different wiring. But if you want to just plug and play, that is a very expensive option, but that is a way to go. And just a note, if you go to order them, I'll put the part number below if that's something you're interested in. But if you go to order them, you have to order two. They don't come in a set of two. So it's about $300 US to buy those from the place that I found them. And there was a good 5-week delay. They had to wait to get those, so that's up to you. But there's no special wiring harness that you need to put Xenons on at all, nothing like that. Alright guys, so that's about it for me, as far as information is concerned, from what I found out. Again, feel free to do your own research, but just to save you some time, if you're looking for some information, that's what I discovered, and that's been my experience so far. Again, if anything changes, I will be sure to let you know. There are 2 other videos. I did an installation video concerning how to put the headlights in, and sort of what wires go where, and how to adapt your lights to transfer to Xenons. And then I did another video regarding how to install XPEL clear protective film on your headlights. So go ahead and check those out if those interest you. This next part of the video, I'm going to explain why it was that I wanted to go to Xenons in the first place, why halogens weren't quite good enough from my perspective. Now granted, I know, and I mentioned in the clips to follow, that my adjusters were broken, and I get that, but you'll be able to see it is irrefutable that the light output from Xenons is definitely greater than the light output from halogens. Alright guys, so I've come to kind of the darkest place I can find in Hudson at 10:30 at night, and just to kind of give you an idea, I understand obviously this you're seeing this through a camera, which is different from seeing it in person. This is kind of to just try and give you an idea of how bad the halogens are in these cars, and sort of understand why I'm switching to Xenons. So obviously I can't see very far in front of me. The light output's not very far, and granted, yes, I understand the adjusters are broken and that is the main cause of the problem, but the light output just is not that great. I can see maybe 50 to 75 feet in front of me, which is obviously pretty unsafe. That's why most of the time, if I have to drive this car at night, I drive around with the high beams on, and they are pointed so low that, well, people honestly don't even notice. I have never been flashed with the high beams on. Even when I'm directly behind someone, never been flash. And I've driven behind Ryan with the high beams on, and he didn't even know they were on. So that's that's not ideal. And yes, I understand the high beams on the new units that I just put in are going to be the same, but this is kind of to give you an idea of the before, what halogens are like, and of course I'll also show, probably in the next clip, what it's like to have Xenons after coming from these god-awful halogens. Alright guys, so here's just a comparison. The lights are on this time in this parking lot, which is a bit annoying. I'll probably try and film another one so you can get an idea of how bright they actually are, but just with the Xenons on, it's much brighter than having my my halogen high beams on before. And the light is spread out so much better, and man, it lights up so far. Right now I'm running aftermarket high beam bulbs, and they aren't doing very much, so I'm probably going to put the OEM ones back in. I wanted to kind of match it better to the Xenon color, but honestly they're just not that good, so I'd rather have the OEM ones in, despite the yellow color. So yeah, that's kind of more of what I'm doing. I'm just blown away by the difference. It's huge, and having these lights on there really does make a difference. Just driving around, I feel a lot more confident. I can see more of the road. I can see a lot further down the road, and it's just a really big difference. An expensive difference, but a difference that I think really made a lasting impression on me, and certainly, at least in my eyes, added some user value to this particular car. Alright guys, that kind of wraps up the video. If you've had a different experience, please leave a comment down below. I'm very curious to see if people have other information on it, and I don't pretend to know everything about this subject. If you've had a different experience, particularly with our European viewers, if you've needed that adapter or something else, please let us know. We are all about trying to help people solve problems on E39 source and finding information that they couldn't find anywhere else on the forums. So if you do have other information, please let us know. We would love to either incorporate that into another video or have it as sort of a central point for other people to reference so that they can solve their problems. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, guys. As always, please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next E39 source video. Bye-bye.